with Rodney, especially during this COVID crisis. We want to make sure we get the information that's important to each of you to you. And today we're going to start before we get to our guest, because I want to give you a little background on why Lindy McDonald is joining us tonight. So go ahead and let's roll that clip and we'll introduce Lindy after that.
From Illinois is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Chairman, Ranking Member Brady, Chairman Neal. I really appreciate the opportunity to come here to once again remind our colleagues that if there's one thing that we ought to do right in this institution is to help Americans recover from a disaster that they didn't ask for. We did that by coming together for the CARES Act. The PPP program in Illinois alone has made 69,893 loans to our Main Street businesses, worth almost $16 billion. But I want to tell you about one person who still has a need. Lindy McDonald of Myler Automotive Repair in Champaign, Illinois. She kept all her employees. She's keeping her business going even though customers are down. She's still in the queue to get funded by what we do today. Vote yes on this legislation. Thank you for the bipartisanship. I yield back. Well, Lindy McDonald from Myler Automotive, we were talking about you the last time I was here in Washington on the House floor. We chatted again later that night, but I want my constituents and the world to know who you are. So, Lindy, tell us a little bit about Myler Automotive here in Champaign, Illinois.
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank you because it touched my heart that you talked about us in front of everyone, and we're just a small business. Myler Automotive's been in business since 1977. Brian and I have been the owners since January 2nd of 2007, and he worked there for years as a technician. And we met years ago in an automotive dealership, and our goal was to own our own shop someday. And he worked very hard for years and years for that. And it's hard being a business owner. It's hard being a business owner in Illinois. But we work very hard and we love our business and our employees. And we have 8 days and we have 7 employees, including Brian and I. And we work on all makes of cars. And we do all kinds of work, all mechanical work except front end alignments, but all kinds of businesses and all kinds of individuals, people with a lot of money, people with not very much money. And we try to treat everyone fair, repair their cars, get them going.
Hang on one second. Hang on, guys. All right, security's working well here. They didn't recognize me in the close. Had to give them that would show them the ID real quick. But we will. I like the fact that security's working well here at the Capitol. That makes me feel good. But want to make sure everybody heard about you and about what Myler Automotive is all about. Now tell us, because you and I hadn't met. We hadn't chatted until after I spoke about you on the House floor. But tell us, how has the COVID crisis affected you?
Well, our business is down. And so emotionally, that affects me very much because and Brian, but as the owner, we're there every day. We're the first ones there. And we pride ourselves on that. We're there with the guys. We sit down together at lunch every day. We're like a family and a business all in one. And it means a lot. And the impact of this, you're scared because you're scared for the people you're with and you want the best for them.
Well, you really do. And obviously, as you heard in the speech I gave, we were very proud of you for keeping your employees employed. And you were just looking for some assistance in that second tranche of PPP funding. Give us a little idea, and our viewers a little idea, how did you reach out to our office, and what was the service like, and what was the PPP process like?
When I first kept hearing about it on the news and different things, I was interested in it. I thought, wow, this would really help us in the event that people aren't coming in. I mean, we're so thankful to be able to be open. And I can't imagine what businesses that can't be open right now are dealing with, because I knew we would still have, all the normal bills and things, regardless of whether customers were coming in. So when I heard about it, I was very interested, and I contacted the bank that I have my credit card processing with and my business account with. And they didn't have a lot of information. So I tried reading everything I can online, and some of it you can depend on and some you can't. And I tried calling, different agencies and stuff, and couldn't really get anyone on the phone at all. And so I called your office, and I got Philip, who was wonderful. And he gave me some answers to some things. And then he said, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out. And sure enough, he found out. He always got back with me. He always asked me if there was something else that he could do. He let me know he was talking with you about things, and, would get back with me on how things were going before the first process even came about. And I wanted to be sure that it was something that we should be eligible for. I didn't want to sign up for something that wasn't meant for us, and this was meant for a small business like us to keep going and know that we could keep going.
Well, tell us a little bit about the process. What was the process like for you of actually applying for the loan?
The bank portal opened on that Saturday. I wrote down the date because I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was April 4th. And the banker had told me the portal will open and you will go on and fill out the application yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I know that what I've heard from some people who work with small banks, their application was filled out with the banker with them. But I did this at home on a Saturday by myself, and I'm not very good on the computer. So the minute that portal opened, I started putting in information. And I'll tell you what, it was 7 hours before I got through the application, because there were things that it said I was going to need, and they weren't things I needed. So then I'm looking through papers and I'm trying to get things, and I've timed out and I have to start all over, and I don't know how to save things on the computer. So finally that night, I finally got it all done, and I got through, and I got a notification that my application had been accepted. And I thought, oh boy, this is great. I'm going to hear something soon. And time went on, and contacted the banker, and he was working at home, and he said, we have so many applications. We don't know where you are. We don't know. It's still sitting there. We have it, but we're waiting to submit it to the SBA, and things are in order, and don't worry. And I don't know how long went by, a week or more. I can't remember, but the only information I could get was that it was sitting in the queue waiting to go to the SBA. And this was days and days later. And then
this was during the first round of money, right?
First round. And the next thing you know, I wake up and the money's all gone. And I'm like, I didn't want to count on it. I just wanted that security and in case cars don't come in. And I can tell you that next week, usually Myler Automotive has 10 appointments a day. We have 3 appointments on Monday and nothing the rest of the week. Now, this week started out slow like that. And it seems like people don't call in until later in the day. And it seems like that they bring the car in, they drop it off, follow our new procedures, and they don't come and pick it up then for a week or more because no one's really going anywhere. So, I mean, it's a whole new experience. It's changed everything. So
you use the same bank in that second process when the new money came?
yes, because I was told applications are taken in order and that my application was sitting there ready to go in. So, don't worry, it's ready to go in. So I can't remember, what was the date that the monies was released the second time? Do you remember exactly?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was about 2.5 weeks ago that we were out here.
Okay, so I didn't hear anything that whole week. And I kept checking the site because he said, check the site, it'll show where your application is, at least on the SB or on the PNC site. Oh, I didn't mean to say what bank, but so it said in the queue, and then it said it was downloaded to the SBA or something like that. And I knew that they had it then. And in the meantime, I was advised by a couple people, not people with your office, but people who said, try a smaller bank. Well, it was too late by then, and my application was sitting there, and the application specifically says, if you've already applied, don't apply again. And I wasn't going to pull my application and then end up with it not getting through, but, I just worried that it's going to happen again. And then on Saturday, May 3rd, which I first applied on April 4th, Saturday, May 3rd, I found out I had gotten the loan.
Yeah, and you texted me that day.
I texted you that day, and I told everybody, I said, I'm 61 years old. If I could do a cartwheel, I would do a cartwheel right now because it was just it's the relief of knowing that if something doesn't come in, I can still pay those employees. And, they've been there, most of them have been there a long time. One of them who's 40, I think he's 45 now, he's been there since he got out of high school. He went to tech school. His father was a technician there before him, Harold Zond. And he's been at Myler Automotive that whole time. And he's good at his job, but he stays with us. And then
and you go ahead.
It's just, we have a young one who's 29 and he's been there, I think, 7 years. And a technician that's only been there about 2.5, but he's in his 50s. He does a great job. Other people, we've had people leave over the years for, to go in the apprenticeship for union jobs or different things. But, mostly we've kept the same staff. Steve that works in the office has been there over 30 years. So, I mean, it's just, you're together. We're together with them as much as our families.
Oh, that is great. And you're going to use that money to keep them employed. And what else?
Well, pay the utilities and the things that we can pay with it. And we'll just abide by the rules and we will be very thankful for what we have and appreciative, and we'll keep going, and we'll keep being kind to customers and treating them fair and not trying to sell them something they don't need or do something that isn't the way we should treat people. That's the hardest thing right now is we have to, the office is closed. People pull in, they leave their keys in their car. We go out and sanitize the car. I get to talk to them on the phone, but we don't have that personal contact. And I feel like we've lost that. And I like having that personal contact. Our customers have the number at work. They have my cell phone number. If they have a problem, nights or weekends, they know they can call me.
That is great. Well, I tell you what, I like the personal contacts too, and I certainly hope we get a chance to meet face to face one day, and I don't have to drop my car off and chat with you on the phone or via video conference like this. When this economy opens again, we're gonna be coming up to you and seeing the success. I want to meet these folks that have been there for decades in some cases, and I want to meet you in person. So I appreciate it. I don't know if you see this on the screen, but Ed Warren said, hi, Lindy and her husband are good people. Take care of them. Well, you know what? I'm proud my team, Philip Lassane in our Maryville office. Philip does a great job on behalf of the constituents I'm blessed to serve. And you're a shining example of that today, Lindy. I don't know if we have any more questions from people who might be watching. If we do, they'll pop up on the screen and we'll ask you. But I want to ask one last question for me. Go ahead, Lindy. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say to you that you made me feel like someone cares and someone in a political office cares, where we see so many things, all through this procedure, there was all this, the money's going to run out, the money's going to run out. And I'm watching this on the news and I'm just panic, worrying about this. And I know that all these businesses that can't be open right now and are feeling that. And I really hate that because we know restaurant owners that really need to be able to follow the rules, but they need the rules out there for them so they know what they have to do to at least have a chance. And hairdressers and things like that, they need to have a chance at least. And so I hope that happens for them soon too. And one other thing, everyone believes that if you own a business, you are rich and you can go to work when you want. And I can tell you that is not true. We are proud to be the owners and we're proud to work the way we do. But I live in the same home as I had before I bought that business, or Brian and I bought that business. And it's just, there's those misconceptions about business owners. And so right now, business owners do need a little help.
Well, we appreciate hearing that. And it's your story that we wanted to tell. You were somebody that popped out on my piece of paper of folks who had contacted our office with your story. And I just can't wait to meet Brian and you in person. One last question for you, Lindy.
Okay.
What last message do you have for political leaders out here in Washington and at the state level?
Always listen to the people and try to follow up on it, just like your office did. Because you not only listened, you didn't let it go in one ear and out the other. You did something about it. So step up, politicians, and do something.
Well, it's been an honor to serve you. It's been an honor to be able to get to know you via this process, and it's going to be even a greater honor to be able to walk up at a time when we have our economy reopened and we get back to normal, and maybe, just maybe, we might even be able to shake hands with you, with Brian and you.
Yeah, well, I'm
But-
kind of a hugger. Everyone knows that. So this has been kind of hard, with that distancing thing for me. But yeah, I really look forward to it.
Well, I certainly do too. And it's been an honor to have you on Live with Rodney tonight, talking about another coronavirus success story, and also talking about what the impact has been of what we do behind me in the Capitol and how it impacts constituents in the 13th District of Illinois, like Brian and Lindy McDonald. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate everybody who had comments and opportunities to share their stories about Lindy and Myler Automotive. And just again, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. And until next time, this is Live with Rodney. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Thanks.